Right then, this is Sharky from SHAR-KADE. Now, today I've been in doing a little bit of work on the shooting sim control panel. Now, I hand cut these so they're not amazing, but I clean them up with some acrylic and stuff. So I was home all day yesterday messing on with these guns. Now there isn't a tutorial online how to get the kickback working correctly with games like TeknoParrot and stuff like that. There's little bits and pieces online, but there's not a full tutorial from start to finish, any video stuff anyways. So I'll be doing a video on how to get the kickback working and stuff on these for games like Terminator 2 and stuff like that. So I've been currently going through all the games and just setting off the kickback. Now the recoil for the guns themselves, you do need a sort of script file. Basically it's its ID, and to tell it that to fire a certain way, I need to figure out how to get the fire on constant on certain games, so when you hold the trigger in, it'll just constantly recoil. These guns have been a nightmare to try and get sorted, I tell you. So I've got to figure that out. On Terminator works. I think Terminator has a constant fire, like it's a constant click click click, if that makes sense. But with games like Aliens, you've got to hold it in for a little while before it starts kicking in fully. It's when you start getting low on ammo on Aliens 3, the recoil starts kicking in correctly. It is going to be in a small one of my standard deluxe size control panels. Who's this? I think I did, mate. I've been bombarded with so many emails, man, and I need to get round to it. I think it was requesting a certain game, wasn't it, for the that's on the Pi build. I don't usually keep a games list of the games on the Pi builds, and I don't have a memory card in it at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll get a memory card cloned, get that in the machine, and have a look at those games you were requesting that's on the unit. But I know you went in detail, in depth of other stuff as well, so I'll check that out. Like I say, I've just been bombarded with emails. If I don't get back to you, just email us again and just resend the message and jump the list basically. So yeah, where was I? So yeah, it's been a nightmare getting the recoil working correctly on these guns. I mean, it's all plug and play on games like Aliens, Extermination, Far Cry, Paradise Lost. I do have it working with Let's Go Island, but you've got to press it for the recoil. I've just got to figure that out. If anyone knows of the ID for these guns that allows a recoil, and then I can put that through Mame Hooker and get those set up, would be a great help. If not, I'll have to try and figure it out myself and work on it that way. It is going to have a mini PC inside, so these little mini PCs that I was getting in for the deluxe control panel, so it's going to have one of those in. It's got a 500 gig M.2 SSD with Hyperspin on the SSD as well, on a partition of D drive. So it's going to have, I'm going to have the Patreon games on there. So it's going to have the TeknoParrot Patreon games. So it is going to have House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn. So I'll get that configured with both guns as well. It is going to be an online unit. You are going to have to be online, but I'm going to take some steps to be able to allow the units online safely. Each time it boots, it'll make sure any Windows updates and stuff like that is completely disabled, so it won't update or anything unless you go into Windows and update it yourself, which I don't recommend. I have the code to allow to put numbers up on the back there as well, so I can add these. I can make these light up as well with different numbers for certain games, but I do really need to figure out how to get into each game. I'd have to figure each game out and then find out what the code would be to allow maybe how many kills you get. It's more like on the PC modern, the console modern scene, them sort of scripts, the activation codes basically for certain configs within the system, within that game. So it's like hex editing and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the stuff I want to figure out. But what I'll do mainly is I'll try and get them set up to work with the better games, and then I'll just have them. If Recoil doesn't work on a game, I know, what's that game called again? Area 51, was it? Or is it something like Area 51? I think it's Area 51 for the arcade. The recoil, you can't enable a recoil on these guns for that game. It doesn't support recoil. And like I say, there is some other games that don't support recoil, and there is some games where the recoil is a bit iffy, but it works at the end of the day. And these guns work really well. Now I've went with these, like I say, I hand cut these, but I will have these CNC cut at a later date. These are basically doweled in, so it's all nice and clean. I've done a template, which you see down there. I've done a template and I've got all these bits and pieces. These are my dowel guides. I usually create these for drilling the dowel holes on the sides of the wood and stuff. So that fits into that bottom slot there. Then all these bits fit in. And that's basically a clone of the bottom of that metal template. And that's the main holes there. So you've got sort of a big nut on the bottom of these guns, and it's slightly recessed in on the edges as well. So I had to cut a 45mm hole, I think it was, and then a 30mm hole just for the cables to route through. I will have some LEDs inside this. I'll have some lights inside here. And what I'll do is I'll likely print some custom acrylic and have the player 1 and player 2, player 1, player 2 light up, and maybe have fade in, fade out. It is going to have one of my custom grills on the front there. That is going to be a cooling hole, so it's going to have a fan in behind that. I do have this cool House of the Dead. I don't usually print templates on my prints. I don't usually do that, but because this is basically a test unit, I printed that just so I can guess exactly where everything is going to go and how it's going to look in the final finish of it. And then we'll have that House of the Dead, so it's going to be House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn. With the deluxe control panels, I have designed a pedestal as well. So this is going to fit on a pedestal also, but I wanted it to be a fully fleshed, like the deluxe control panels. I wanted to be able to move it from room to room and not have to lift a heavy pedestal up. This will literally slot on top of a pedestal, and with the PC inside and stuff, and then that can be taken off and carried to another room. It could be put on a desk in front of you, on a coffee table in front of you, and plugged straight into your TV. It's going to have the PC and everything inside the unit. And I'm just working on the front end. I wanted basically on the Hyperspin front end, all the games and systems cycling through at the bottom, a bit like Hyperpin, rather than from the side of Hyperspin itself like you usually see on my stuff. So what I might do is just start afresh with big box, is it Showbox or not Showbox, big box, or is it launch box? I'm not sure what they call it at the minute. So start afresh on there, and just have the gun system done, and then I'll move over to big box and launch box, or whatever you want to call it, at a later date, once Hyperspin's 1000% all updated to the latest stuff, and the 24 terabytes stable 1000% basically, and then I'll start moving over. I'll probably not go much than 24 terabyte, but I said that about the 11 terabyte, 16 terabyte. I didn't think I'd go higher than that, but you know, here we are with 24 terabytes. So really like these guns for fixed guns. With TeknoParrot, they work amazing. They work really well. There is, like I say, there's other games, the PC shooters and stuff, they're not, I suppose, they're not great with, if they act more like a mouse than an analog, it's not too great. But MAME shooters, everything like that, are cool as hell. Can it be done as a single player unit? It could be, mate. It could be done more as a plug in to another unit, so it could be an empty box basically inside, with just maybe the power supplies and stuff, because there is 2 power supplies to go in this unit. So I've got to fit that mini PC inside and those 2 power supplies. Like I say, this is a smaller unit, but what I might have to do is make these a bit longer and larger. Because if we look at, I don't want to pull any wires out, but if we look at that power supply there, it'll actually stick out the back end of the unit. So I'll cut a hole in, I'll mount the power supply in, and you will see just on the back end it's slightly sticking out, but it won't be a huge deal breaker. It wouldn't look ugly or anything. I'll still make it look nice, clean, professional finish. So it's not the end of the world having a power supply sticking out the back, but I may make these just a little bit longer for the PSU units. Or if it is just a standalone plug and play kit, where you standalone for the arcades, like the Bartops and Standups and stuff like that, and it's going to have a pedestal with it, there'll be plenty of room inside that for the power supplies themselves. But because I'm putting this mini PC inside, it doesn't really leave a lot of room inside there. But as for your question, yeah, it could be a single player unit, mate. It just needs to be set up that way, I suppose. If you are gonna, like I say, have a mini PC inside, I couldn't really have it in the middle. It would have to be to one side. If it was gonna just be a standalone unit, then I could have the gun in the center. And also, I suppose I could build one of those, have the PC inside those, and have 2 arcade sticks, a single player arcade sticks, or 2 a dual player arcade stick plugged into this as well. So it could have the full Hyperspin set up inside it. How about just shooting games only, TeknoParrot MAME shooters? Well, this is what this is going to be. It's going to be a dual player one. Single player, like I say, it'd have to be to one side. If I am going to put a mini PC inside, the mini PC's got to be in the center. Just the way where everything's going to be placed, it'll be awkward to have the PC one side and the gun in the middle. Like I say, it's got to have the gun rather to the side, or if it's just an empty unit, is just have the gun in the center. If you want it to plug into your current unit, and then it would be an empty box, so it'd be easier to have the gun. It would be easy to put the gun in the middle. As you can tell, I'm rambling on a bit because I am quite tired. I've not stopped this whole weekend again. Not really had much family time. It's just been work. I've got this Nintendo cabinet. I've got to get the back on and get that finished. I've got a 27-inch to start next week. I'm just waiting on the paper for the printer. I didn't have enough. That was the last of my paper there. That was that last bit, so it wasn't even worth attempting to print the full artwork for that stand-up. If I had have printed the started the print and left it a few days, I always like to do me print all at once if I can, just in case the tone of the print itself changes slightly. I like it all to be on one continuous print. It just keeps the tones and colors of the artwork nice. So yeah, that one will be getting started next week. This week, sorry, I'm next week. This week, it's Monday, and it's because it's bank holiday. So yeah, that'll be getting started this week. Like I say, I'm just waiting on the paper, and this hopefully will be finished tomorrow. The customer's upgraded to the 24 terabyte. These units are really small as well, man. This is this 16 terabyte build upgraded to 24 terabyte. Has an RTX 3060 graphics card in, and as you can see, the graphics cards are quite large. The wiring, there's tons of wiring in there, so I'll clean all that wiring up and stuff and get this unit finished off. But like I said, there isn't a great deal of room inside the 24-inch bar tops. Anything else to update? I'm hopefully starting a big project off next week as well. Get that one out the way, then start the big project. I've just got to go up and check tomorrow, I think, on just double check the wood and everything over. I've got a pedestal with that unit. If that pedestal needs to be changed, I might add it to this unit and use that for this unit, and then recut a pedestal for the big project, which I'm not going to mention what it is yet. What else? Other than that, I'll just keep you updated on this machine here, and then I'll be doing some updated videos for customers, current customers and future customers. We do have a SHAR-KADE owners group opening up. It's set to take a little bit of slack off me, and also save customers having to come to me all the time for little things like adding games and stuff like that. I'll be getting some videos done. I'll be posting them all up on the group privately, and then customers can, if they've got a little bit of knowledge, PC knowledge, they'll be able to know how to then add some of the new titles and stuff like that to their unit, and bits and pieces like that. Any little fixes, any issues the customers had in the past as well, and another customer knows how to fix simple things and stuff. Them can also help out. So that's what I want. That's the idea anyways. But I'm going to try and get that done as soon as possible. I'm just waiting on someone dropping a video, and then everything will be going live. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to the videos, hit that notification bell, and if you've hung around to listen to me talk crap, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.